Hello friends, welcome to Java2D tutorial. Now you are watching part 2 of the sub-series Shape Outlines. In the last video, we talked about what is a BasicStroke instance and how we can use that to create shape outlines. Then we talked about what is solid outline, dashed outline and dash dot outline. So here what you are seeing is the example for a solid outline, and this one is an example for a dash dot outline. Alright, in this video we will cover solid outline and we will see how to define a pen thickness using the solid outline. In the last video, we learned about the basics of shape outline. So here is the code change. First, we have to make change on Jpanel code. Here we declare a variable for stroke. Then we have a reference declared for the Jframe window. That means we will create a class named G05 ShapeStroke example, which derives from Jframe, and we have a member variable inside the Jpanel class to hold the reference to the frame instance. We call the instance name as parent here. Next, we have a getter for this stroke, so which just returns this stroke. Next, we have a member to set the parent. So for this stroke variable we have only the getter version, and for parent we have only the setter version. Next, the code changes. Next, the code changes in Jpanel Constructor. In the constructor, we handle click event for the set button. So in the action performed, we will write this piece of code, and if you see here, we construct a float boxed instance and we take width from the user interface. So this defines the pen thickness and it's in the user interface. We take that and construct the float, and from that float we return the float stroke value. That means this defines pen thickness, right? So pen thickness is coming from the UI. After that, we make a call to repaint. Here, repaint is called on the parent. So here, parent is actually the frame, which is not yet defined. So, during the frame code, we will pass the instance of the frame window while after constructing this Jpanel. After constructing the Jpanel, we will make a call to set parent and we will supply the frame window. Since we have the frame window in the button click handler, we ask to repaint the frame window. That means the paint method override of the frame window will get called. Inside that paint method, we will perform actual drawing. So that's all the code change required for Jpanel. Next, we will override the Jframes paint method. So let's look at some of the code change in the Jframe. So this is our Jframe derived class, and here we hold reference to our Jpanel derived class. Remember, in our Jpanel derived class, we are handling the button click event, and we get the stroke width. That means we can say that as a pen thickness. After getting the pen thickness from the user, we make a call to parent.repaint, and parent.repaint will land up here in the Jframe derived class. Alright, in the constructor, if you see, we construct our Jpanel class, stroke panel. This is G05 shape stroke example, which is deriving from Jframe. And in this Jframes constructor, we create our Jpanel derived class and we initialize this member stroke panel. Then Jframe overrides the paint method, and inside the paint method, so this is making call to the superclass paint method. After that, we are converting our graphics G into graphics2D instance. And here is the key step. We are constructing the BasicStroke, and in the BasicStroke instance we get the property of the getStroke. So Storke panel we already have. This is Jpanel derived instance, and from there we access the getStroke method. So this is a getter method on the stroke member, right? So it will retrieve the stroke, and that retrieved information is used to construct the BasicStroke object. Once the BasicStroke is constructed, we make a call to setStroke method on the graphics2D object. So this defines pen thickness. Right, once pen thickness is defined on the graphics object, underlying graphic object, we make a call to the draw method. Here if you see graphics2D dot draw, and here we construct our rectangle object with some predefined dimension. So this defines x and y location, then we specify width cross height, and we construct the rectangle. So after this rectangle draw is done, we are making call to the repaint method of the stroke panel. So this is Jframe, right? Jframes paint method, and we give a chance to our panel object also to do the repaint. Now it's a demo time. We will go ahead and perform these steps. So in the previous video itself, we added code snippet 5.1, and in the Jpanel itself, we will define properties for stroke and parent, and we can define this also as a private. Okay, let it be default member, and we will define property. And here if you see getStroke, this is a read-only property. Why? Because we are not allowing to assign anything from the outside world. setParent, it is a write-only property, and we won't read it from the outside world. After setting the parent, we won't do anything. So that's why we kept this as a read-only property. Here getStroke returns the member stroke, and setParent assigns the parent. Now we will save all, and this is our panel instance, right? Yes, Jpanel instance. We will go to the design view. Window builder is parsing it. So we have to handle this click event. So I just selected the button, and here clicking on the show events, action performed. So the action performed, if you see here, So when that specific button is clicked, we retrieve the value from txt stroke width. That means from this control, and we construct the float instance. Then we retrieve the float value from that specific field, and we assign that to the stroke method. So this will make a call to setter method. Okay, since it's internal to the class, we can directly assign the stroke, and now it will have the user entered value. After that, we are making call to repaint method on the parent. Parent means in the frame window. Next, in the Jframe window, we are at Jpanel, right? In the Jframe window, we need to create instance of this stroke panel. So we will add that as a member. So stroke panel, we just defined it as a null, and it's a member of our frame window. Next, we have to add this to our Jframe window. So this is our frame window, right? We have to add it towards the bottom. Here in the constructor, Jpanel was already constructed. So this content pane is having border layout, right? Now we can add it to the south. So here we are constructing our Jpanel, and after that we are adding that Jpanel towards the south portion of our Jpanel. So this Jpanel is nothing but the content pane of our frame window. So we are adding our Jpanel which we designed to the south portion, and then we are setting the parent also. Well, because we constructed start panel, right? We are giving our frame so that it can hold our frame window here in the parent. Now let's check these ones, and you can see the Jframe window is having our Jpanel towards the bottom. This first portion we will use to check the pen thickness, and in the second portion we will define line stroke with a dash pattern and a dash dot pattern. So in the Jframe we need to override the paint method. Why? Because once a user perform action and the Jpanel, drawing will actually performed in the Jpanel here. Let's set a title also for our Jpanel. Okay, we will override paint method. So in the paint method, we will construct a basic stroke. We will set that stroke to our graphic object. After that, we perform a rectangular drawing. So that's all the code change required. Let's quickly review what are all the changes we made. First, we created a class called G05 stroke panel. Then we created a class called G05 shape stroke example. So this one is derived from Jframe, and the highlighted one is derived from Jpanel. So after that we designed our Jpanel to have these controls, which was already shown in the previous video. So first we declared some members as part of Jpanel. Then we defined record getter and setter based on the need. For stroke we defined only the getter, and for parent we defined only the setter. Then on the button click of this set method, the set button, we create a float instance and we retrieve the user entered value, and we say assign that to the stroke member here. Alright, then we moved to our Jframe. We declared an instance for our Jpanel. Then we constructed our Jpanel. We added that Jpanel towards the bottom of our frame window. That's how you are seeing controls in the bottom. This is the Jframe, right? You are seeing the Jpanel in the bottom. And finally, we provided the Jframe instance to the Jpanel. This is Jpanel, right? Whatever we are constructing. And we are calling setParent method, and we give this means the current instance, Jframe derived instance. So this will help the Jpanel, because all the events are handled in the Jpanel. So since Jpanel is having the instance of this Jframe, it will help the Jpanel to make a call to the repaint method. The repaint method will land into the paint method. So we will come here, and in the paint method, if you see here, we actually create the basic stroke. So this is the core concept for this sub-series. For the basic stroke, we are giving the pen thickness, and then we are assigning that to the graphics 2D. Finally, we are making the drawing. So when we make the drawing, it will make use of whatever pen thickness you defined in the previous code snippet. Alright, that's all here. Now we will go ahead and run this sample. So I am maximizing it since it is overlapping, and we will define a stroke width of 2. That means here I am defining pen thickness of 2, and this rectangle was already drawn. So by default the stroke width will be 1, right? That's how we defined it here. You see, stroke width is default is 1, and when we come to this paint method, it will make use of basic stroke with pen thickness of 1. Then a rectangle is drawn. Now we will change that to 2, and you will see the line thickness or the rectangle outline thickness will change. See? Now let's give even more higher thickness. This time I am giving a 10 as the thickness. Alright, now you know how to use the basic stroke object to change the pen thickness. In the next video, we will see how you can define the dashed line and dashed dot lines, the outline. We will draw the second rectangle, then we will explore the next set of controls. That's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.